Episode 1: The Shocker Strikes. Life has been a roller coaster after the apparent demise of the Green Goblin for Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Weeks have passed since Spidey became a wanted vigilante by the New York Police Department for the murder of the Green Goblin, while Peter is struggling to keep his life intact following the abysmal relationship with Harry and Gwen. Gwen has yet to told Harry about breaking up with him, and Peter felt that his best friend has been distancing himself ever since the death of his father. Jonah Jameson, meanwhile, is ecstatic with the recent incident that occurred with Spider-Man. He's proud of his tireless efforts in labeling the web crawler as a menace to the city, and everything seems to be fruitful now. On the day of the fight between the Goblin and Spider-Man, a live broadcast of their battle was broadcasted across New York by the Daily Bugle. The scene where Spidey webbed the Goblin's glider and killed him was caught live on camera, convincing the citizens of New York that Spidey was no different than other vigilantes who kill others. The citizens of New York believed Spider-Man to be a good hero with moral values. But Jonah knows that with his concrete evidence, his dreams of seeing the web crawler behind bars is closer than ever. With news of Spidey being the bad guy and police warrants for him, Peter decided it's best go low for now in terms of fighting crime. He decided to set his life straight and try to balance his social life. At school, Peter tried to help Harry by asking him whether he wants to hang out with him after school, but Harry declined to say that he was not in a mood. Peter then told Harry that he needs to clear his head, and it has been weeks since his father's death. Being moody and depressed would not help Harry to be better. Harry snapped at Peter and told Peter to mind his own business. Gwen tried to console Harry by telling him that Peter was just trying to help him, but Harry brushed her away and told her to not keep defending Peter. Harry went back home, leaving behind Peter and Gwen. Peter and Gwen were sad that they could not help to ease Harry's problems and felt that it is much better to give him some personal space. A week later, Peter's science class organized a class trip to a science fair downtown organized by Stark Industries. At the exhibition, there was a special suit designed by Stark Industries for John Jameson for his next space exhibition. The exhibition aimed to showcase John as the true national hero, and it was, of course, the idea of Jonah Jameson. As Peter and his friends were looking around at the latest tech on display during the exhibition, Peter felt his spider sense tingled and saw the Shocker zap several security guards before storming the front door of the exhibition. Peter broke away from his group to change into his Spidey uniform, separating himself from Gwen and Harry. Peter figured that Shocker wanted to steal the high-tech suit for either himself or to be sold in the illegal market. Peter swung across the hall and fought with the Shocker, who repeatedly zapped him with the electrical bolts. Before Peter managed to web the Shocker's gauntlets to disable him from attacking, the Shocker accidentally zapped the ceiling, causing the roof of the exhibition hall to come crashing down. Peter realized that Gwen was standing near the roof, which is coming crashing, and quickly rushed to save her. Peter managed to web Gwen and took her away to safety out of the exhibition hall. Harry was out of the exhibition hall and was searching for Gwen. They lost each other while escaping the scuffle between Spidey and the Shocker. Gwen thanked Spider-Man, who saved her, not realizing that Harry was watching them. Harry rushed to Gwen and shoved Spider-Man aside and told him to buzz off. Harry told Gwen that she should not be close to a murderer, but Gwen assured him that Spider-Man just saved her from the falling ceiling. Harry did not believe it and shouted at Spider-Man, and that he would pay for what he has done to his father. For the first time, Peter saw the murderous eyes of Harry, the same eyes his father had when he was the Green Goblin. Harry stormed off, leaving Gwen and Spider-Man. Spidey heard the police sirens nearby and fled as he remembered that he was still a wanted vigilante. Jonah Jameson was furious as his son's ceremony was canceled due to the suit being crushed by the ceiling. He vowed revenge against Spider-Man and berated Spidey, calling him a useless web crawler menace. Elsewhere in the shadows, there seems to be someone in the shadows plotting a criminal underworld takeover. Episode 2: Memories of the Past. Harry was at home when he received a personal email from a stranger informing him to pay a visit to Oscorp. The email stated that Harry needs to visit the board of directors as he's the current CEO of Oscorp due to the death of his father. At first, Harry was reluctant as he was not having a clear mind and he felt he was too inexperienced for the role. But then he remembered that he needed to plot revenge against Spider-Man and he wanted to know why his father was the Green Goblin. Deciding to have some fresh air and get some answers, Harry went to Oscorp. The staff were shocked to see Harry as they did not expect his presence there. Harry was greeted by Norman's secretary, Felicia Hardy. Felicia guided Harry to Norman's room for him to have a view of his future office. As they exited the elevator, Felicia told Harry that she has some urgent issues to deal with and handed Harry the access card to Norman's room. As she was giving the card to him, she accidentally fumbled the card and dropped it on the floor. Harry saw the rectangular-like object was dropped alongside the access card and wanted to hand the key back to Felicia, but she quickly dashed into the elevator and went down. Harry was puzzled, but took the strange object and access card and went to Norman's room. As he was walking around Norman's room, he reminisced of the time he and his dad had fun together and the sense of nostalgia. He went to Norman's desk and saw a picture of him and his dad when they went for a fishing holiday in the previous year's summer. Tears came rolling down Harry's cheek, and he was so confused. Why was his father the Green Goblin? Why was his father fighting Spider-Man? Who is Spider-Man? Why did his father have to die? He rested his head on his father's desk and held the picture of him and his dad close to his heart. Figuring that he could not find any answers there but despair, Harry decided to go home. He saw a piano in his father's room and remembered the times his father would play the piano whenever he was free. Harry decided to play the piano one final time. As he was playing the piano, he felt that one of the piano tunes were off, but thought it was his imagination. He then realized that one of the piano keys were missing and thought to himself how strange it is to have a piano key missing. Harry remembered that Felicia dropped something that resembled a rectangular-like object. Harry took out the object and realized that it was the missing piano key. He thought to himself why Felicia would have the key to the piano, which was very strange. Harry placed the key back in the piano and continued to play the piano. He then heard a loud sound creaking from behind his father's desk. Harry was shocked as he did not recall his father had any secret chambers in the room last time. Moving towards the mystery room, Harry saw there was an optical recognition scanner at the door of the room. Harry decided to try his luck and scanned his eyes at the door. Luck was on his side as the door opened. Cautiously entering the room, Harry felt a strange but familiar sense of air. Harry saw several goblin serums were arranged neatly. Harry was shocked at the serums and was frightened in the chamber. He wanted to bolt, but he kept hearing a voice, "With great power comes great reward." He remembered that his father always told him that when they were together, Harry braced himself and continued to explore the chamber. He found a mechanical glider, several pumpkin bombs, and at last, he stumbled across the hobgoblin armor. Harry figured that if he needed answers to his father's connection with Spider-Man, he needs to first equip himself with whatever power, strength, and knowledge he has to destroy Spider-Man. In an abandoned warehouse somewhere, Felicia was seen walking towards a shadowy silhouette. She told the silhouette that the plan is already in motion for Harry to begin his vengeance against Spider-Man. A burst of manic laughter could be heard, and emerging from the silhouette was none other than Norman Osborn himself. Felicia congratulated Norman that his master plan is already beginning, and Norman told her that she could remove her disguise. It was revealed to be the Chameleon. A flashback shows that Norman was still alive after the explosion. As he was being burnt due to the flames from the explosion, he fell crashing into a rubbish dumpster. He was wounded badly, but the Goblin's serum had enhanced his healing factor. The Chameleon, who disguised as Harry's father, parachuted out from the chopper during the fight between Goblin and Spider-Man. Coincidentally, he landed near the rubbish dumpster where the Goblin was. The Goblin made a deal with the Chameleon, whereby he would provide Oscorp tech to allow the Chameleon to make much better mimicry instead of just masks with enhanced powers of those he mimicked. In return, he wished to regroup himself and assemble a Goblin army to destroy Spider-Man. The Chameleon agrees with the deal, and Norman handed the key to his Goblin chamber to the Chameleon. The Chameleon would disguise himself as Norman's secretary, Felicia Hardy, and infiltrated Oscorp. He used her email to send the fake email to Harry to trick him to visit Oscorp. With the plan in motion, Norman told the Chameleon that now they would wait for Harry to snap and turn on his own best friend, Peter. Peter was still upset with what happened between him and Harry, told Gwen that she needs to tell Harry that she does not have feelings for Harry anymore. Gwen told Peter that now is not the best time for Harry's situation and left.